Well, tonight we continue our investigative report, Dying for Answers. KTSM, along with KTEP, investigated the death of Daniel Diaz, who died during arrest at the Lunchbox restaurant 2 years ago. Now, autopsy reports showed injuries sustained from strikes and kicks of 7 police officers, along with a high dose of meth in his system, made this encounter fatal. Now, after we walked you through what happened on April 26, 2021, when Daniel Diaz died, tonight we're digging deeper into other cases involving El Paso police applying use of force. KTSM 9 News reporter Carla Draxler joins us with the third part to this story.
They struck Danny over 19 times, and they struck him in the head, in the torso, and they kicked him over 4 times. Tell me that that's not excessive use of force.
Daniel Diaz's death is not unique. It's a pattern that keeps repeating.
When I started crying, he slammed me to the ground and picked me up.
I woke up in my own blood. They said I had a seizure.
When
I went down, I woke up in my own blood.
In April of 2021, Joshua Long was restrained and beaten unconscious inside the county courthouse by several police officers. He suffered a seizure. This was after he showed up to his traffic offense trial in sandals and sweatpants. He was unarmed.
It's been painful.
Then in August of the same year, the case of Anna Barnes, a mother of 5 who crashed into a tree in West El Paso. Officers believed she was drunk and tried to flee the scene with her kids. She was severely beaten.
They grabbed her and then they started punching her in the face so hard they broke the bones in her face.
A DPS blood test revealed she was sober. Barnes suing the city for damages.
Well, one federal judge has determined that there is enough evidence to go forward that the city of El Paso has a pattern and practice of not disciplining officers.
Along with her Houston-based attorney, Randall Callanan, they called for every EPPD officer to have a body camera, which the city started implementing this year.
Body cameras, videos, they're the truth. This is what happened, and the people can handle the truth.
The city pushed off having body cameras or lapel cameras far longer than any other major city in the state of Texas. And we hope that now that we have them, that we'll be able to see the stories that they tell when it's necessary to do so.
If they release it.
But looking back on the similar cases they worked on, Diaz family attorneys Lynn Coyle and Christopher Benoit say the issue is not just video and document transparency, but how every police officer starts their career.
The problem with the training is that the officers are not being trained to properly assess the situation from the beginning. And they're perceiving threats when the threats are not there.
We always are looking for ways of increasing training. With staffing shortages, we have to balance training with response, and it becomes difficult.
The attorneys also represented the family of Daniel Ramirez. In 2015, Ramirez's mother called 911 for her son being suicidal.
According to Officer Escajeda, he sees Danny holding the noose. He's standing on his tiptoes, no weapon, no threat, but somehow, because of the way we've trained our officers, Officer Escajeda sees Danny Ramirez as a threat to him. So what does he do? Tases him in the chest, killing him.
Coyle said after they filed the lawsuit in this case and the case of Eric Salas Sanchez, who was shot in the back in his mother's kitchen during a mental health crisis in 2015, the city changed the use of force policy.
There's a disconnect between the standards for the use of force and what they're actually learning and understanding.
El Paso Police Department sat down with KTSM to explain how they train their officers and how the department handles internal investigations.
You're at your house and somebody's breaking in and the person's violent. We don't have a choice to not engage. We have to go and protect you. Violence is sometimes a necessary part of our job.
Coming up in the next part of Dying for Answers special report.
Well, the city of El Paso agreed to settle out of court with the Ramirez family, paying $600,000. Now, in the case of Sanchez, Officer Mando Gomez, who shot him, was criminally charged and ultimately acquitted in court. Family then filed a civil lawsuit against the city. The city again settled for $1.2 million, while Anna Barnes's case, that one is still pending. The fourth part of Dying for Answers airs tomorrow when we talk with the El Paso Police Department about how they conduct internal investigations, how they release records, and of course how they train officers.